Hi, my name is Courtney Colella. Thank you so much for tuning in at CourtneyColella.com. In today's video, I want to talk about the importance of the awareness and the strengthening of the hip flexors. Now, in this first exercise, we're going to build awareness of the hip flexors so that you can locate them in your body and understand what it feels like to turn them on. So I'm going to suggest that you grab a stool or a chair, something that you can sit on. And I'm going to turn to the side here so that you can see. So like I stated earlier, the hip flexors are what tilt the pelvis forward into anterior tilt, giving me this really nice, tall, long back. And that's what we want to see when we're in the saddle. And it's not only aesthetically pleasing, but it allows you to become more available in your arms, which are your direct connection of communication to the horse. So the more available we are up at the front, the more clearly we can communicate with our horse. And that all starts from the stability of below. That starts with the flexion of the hip and the engagement of the hip flexors. Plant your feet right underneath the knees at hip width distance. And then hover the hands over the knees. Make sure both hands are level, so at the same height. And then begin to lift one knee until it makes contact with the palm. Press the palm down into the knee and then resist that pressure by lifting the knee up into the palm. Release that foot. Lift the other knee, same thing on the other side. And as you continue this exercise, you might begin to notice that your non-dominant leg is going to tire before the dominant leg. So you can go ahead and repeat this on each leg 5 to 6 more times. And then I would suggest doing a couple more rounds, maybe 4 extra rounds on the non-dominant leg. And then after that third round, release down. Now this next exercise is another great way to strengthen the hip flexors. For this one, I'm going to have you start in a lunge. Start with the left leg bent. So take a big step back with your right foot. Press the left heel down into the floor. Press the ball mount of the right foot down. Lift the right thigh away from the floor. Now imagine that you were going to drag your right foot to meet the left foot. So engage the top of the right hip. Lift the hip a little bit higher. And isometrically pull the right foot forward. Do you feel that the right hip flexors are engaging here? One more breath. Press down and drag forward with the right foot. Lift the hip a little bit higher. And then lower the right knee down to release. And you might get a really nice stretch across the top of the hip flexors here. Again, lift the right knee up. Engage the hip flexors on the right hip. Lift the right thigh up. Isometrically drag the right foot forward. One more breath. Lift 1 more inch. 1 more degree of effort. Inhale and exhale. Lower the right knee down. And to get a deeper stretch on the hip flexors, you can even walk the hands up onto the left knee. Now let's repeat this on the other side. This time your right knee will be bent. So plant the right foot. Take a big step back with your left foot. Keep the left knee lifted. Ground down into the right heel. Feel the engagement of where the hamstrings and the glutes meet. Lift the left thigh up towards the sky. And that same feeling of isometrically dragging the left foot forward, feel the engagement of the hip flexors on the left side. Maybe the hip lifts up a couple of inches. Hold here. 1 more breath. And then lower the left knee down. Walk the hands up onto the right knee. Grow tall in the spine here. Press the hips forward for a stretch across the left hip flexors. And to come out, lift the left knee up, step the left foot up to meet the right, and press yourself up to stand. Now I suggest repeating this exercise 2 more times on each leg, and then ending by doing an additional round on your non-dominant leg. And you'll notice over time, the more that you do this and the more you build strength in and become aware of the hip flexors, the taller you'll be in your seat, the more plugged in you'll feel into the saddle, and then consequently, the more available you'll be in the shoulders and in the arms to communicate clearly with your horse and to have a beautiful picture while you're in the saddle. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, my name is Courtney Colella. You can find me at CourtneyColella.com, and stay tuned for more.